what today's practice is about. So here's what you're gonna need for today's practice. You're gonna need a mat. I'm gonna turn to the sides here so you can see. You're gonna need a mat, just rolled up like this, where you're gonna sit your butt on. You're gonna need 2 yoga blocks. You're gonna need those, and you're also gonna need like 2 washcloths. This is what I have, just washcloths. Okay, you're also gonna need to have the ability to do a cross-legged seated position. I'm hoping the blocks help everyone out there. So if you think you can't do a seated position, I think you should try this with me. But I do want to tell you that I will be shooting a chair one, the same kind of idea that we're going to do today. I'll be doing a chair one tomorrow. So if this doesn't work for you, then it's okay. Watch it, learn from it, and then tomorrow sit in your chair and do it. It will be awesome if you really do it that way, and I hope you do. So let's go ahead and begin our class. So I want you to sit your sit bones. Remember, your sit bones are those 2 bones right here. And before we go, before you sit, before you take the seat of the practice today, I want to do a couple body knowledge poses with you, okay, movements with you. So, and if you don't know this practice, I do have a full 10-minute body knowledge video that I would love for you to watch. But in case you have it and you're just ready to go with me, here's a couple things we need to know, no matter what. Internal rotation of the shoulder heads. That means the shoulders go forward, they squeeze towards one another, and as that's happening, you're zipping up. You're from the pelvic floor to the navel to the chest, all the way to the jugular notch, up into the throat, into the forehead, up into the back of the head. You're just rounding forward, because when you internally rotate your shoulders, your spine rounds, right? Now, external rotation extends the spine. It reverses the order. So now your back is engaged. It's shortening so that the front can lengthen, because that's the way the body works. And then you use the front and back to come to the space between, okay? So internal rotation of the shoulders, flex the spine. External rotation of the shoulders, extend the spine. Space between, that's where the front and the back work together. You get the natural arch of the spine, okay? Now, a couple more things before we begin. Unzip an anterior tilt of the pelvis as the hip points go forward and down towards the thighs. The sit bones go up and back. Good, hips up, chest down. And then when you zip up, posterior tilt of the pelvis, you don't tuck. So this is a tuck. I want you to avoid the tuck. We don't need the tuck. You just zip to the navel. Lift the center of the chest. Lengthen your collarbones. Feel your abs strong. Feel your spine long. Good. And then you unzip. Butt goes up, chest goes down, butt goes back, chest goes forward, and then we zip. Okay? So those are pretty much what you need to know. Okay, so let's go ahead and start this practice. Sit your sit bones onto the mat, please. Okay, get your wash racks, put them under your feet, the edges of your feet. Let's all start with the same leg in front, so this leg, okay? So let's all begin there. Adjust yourself, so I'm just feeling my sit bone seat. I'm just kind of, whatever you need to do to sit here right now, to adjust. You don't have to keep your legs crossed. You know, now that you have, one more thing, you're probably gonna need like a wood floor. You're gonna need a sliding floor today. If you don't have it, you can skip some of our slide movements and still participate with us though, okay? So anyway, you can move your feet how you need to make your adjustments. You want to take your sit bones to the edge of your mat and then spill your pelvis forward. And as you do that, pull the front leg in, grab your blocks, hug your knees, pull your knees in, use your inner thighs, lift your chest, good. And then from here, use your blocks and slide them. You're going to find a way for you to come into a comfortable seated position. Lift your chest. Lengthen your collarbones. Lean back ever so slightly until your hands grab your knees. Now start to hinge forward. The hips start to feel as if they start to move back. They're not actually moving, but the energy is back. The center of the chest is coming forward. Slide toward your elbows and see if you can touch the floor. Don't do much about anything yet. We're going to really get deep into this seated position. Right now, I'm just kind of moving you a little bit before we adjust. Just make sure the blocks are in a position underneath your thighs that you can feel supported. Good. Slide forward again. Keep your gaze forward. Now slide back. Grab your knees. Perfect. Now take your shoulders. This left one, external rotation. Pull it out and down. The right one, external rotation, pull it out and down. Bend the elbows, pull on the knees, pull the chest forward, engage the middle back. Feel the tips of your shoulder blades coming together. Good. Now slowly, you're going to start to lean back again. Come back. Left shoulder, internal rotation. Left shoulder, external rotation to neutral. Right shoulder, internal rotation. External rotation, pull, bend your elbows, come to the space between, shake it out. Good. Okay, so let's make some adjustments. We got to do some movement. Movement reveals where we need to make those adjustments, right? So from here, adjust your box. I am bringing my box all the way in as far as I can because I'm supporting right here on the middle thigh. So my knees are here. Maybe you're more comfortable with them underneath your knees. I don't know. All of our bodies are different. You got to find your feel good position, okay? Now think about your feet. Here's what I want you to do with your feet. Pull your toenails towards your shins. Pull the inner heels out to the side walls. Good. Now point your toes. Push down through the pinky toe of each and feel the inner heels lifting up and see if you can bring your feet in even closer. Make some adjustments. Now, once again, push the inner heels out, pull the toes in. Good, now find the space between. But see my ankle right here? I don't want my ankle just to be here. So I've got to find a way so that my ankle's not just hanging out. So I'm going to keep my feet flexed because that's how it's going to do. That's how I keep my ankle in position. All right, so from here, we're going to flow. Take your hands to your knees, lean back, lift your chest, lengthen your collarbones. Good. Now from here, you'll externally rotate the right shoulder more, internally rotate the left shoulder, and then you'll switch. So elbows are straight, I'm leaning way back, I'm holding onto my knees so that I don't fall backwards. The center of my chest is still up, and I'm internally and externally rotating the shoulders. So one shoulder, the top shoulder, internally rotates. The bottom shoulder externally rotates. And what I'm doing is creating this side bend stretch. Good. Stay with it. Let's go. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Center. Good. Bend your elbows. Release your knees. Shake out your hands. Good. Interlace your fingers. We're going to start to flex this front foot. And then as you do, you're going to start to take the leg out using the wash rag, using the cloth, point the toes, pull the toes to the shin. Start to do that with the other one. Good. And you might lose the cloth underneath your foot. Just make adjustments. You'll feel the blocks underneath your thighs. That's good. Now, kind of lean back, zip up, use your abs, and slide your legs back into that position. And now let's go. Out, 8, slide back in, 7, let's go. Good, slide back in, 6, 5, this is some of my movement therapy for my hip, 4, I had a hip replacement in May. I have to have my right hip replaced this coming spring. So this is the kind of stuff that I'm doing to heal my own hips. I hope it's a benefit. Pause here. Good. Adjust your blocks. If they've moved, adjust. Awesome. Adjust your claws. Make sure they're underneath the edges of your feet. Adjust your feet so your ankles are in position. Good. Grab onto your knees. Lift your chest. Now externally rotate both shoulders and bend your elbows. So good. And pull your chest forward towards the screen and draw the upper arms into one another. Hold your knees with your fingertips. Squeeze the space between the shoulder blades, the tip of the shoulder blades. Lengthen your collarbones. Stay with it. Breathe. And slow. Come back halfway. Internally rotate both shoulders and round the spine. Spread the shoulder blades. Look down. Now externally rotate both shoulders. Bend the elbows and pull the chest forward. Okay, ready? Start to lean back right here. Internal rotation of the shoulders. So the shoulders go up, in, and down as the belly comes in and the chest comes in and the gaze looks down. You're rounding the spine. Good. Now you start to pull forward as the shoulders rotate back and down. You bend the elbows. pull the center of the chest forward. So it's basically a take on the yoga cat and cow series, but just with more awareness, allowing every piece of the puzzle, the movement puzzle pieces to come together. Internal rotation rounds the spine, spreads the shoulder blades. External rotation extends the spine, brings the shoulder blades together. Let's do 4. Here's 4. Here's 3. Here's 2. Here's 1. Now come to the space between. So good. Okay, we're gonna do that again. Use your abs. Lean back ever so slightly. Straighten your legs. Adjust. Flex. Good. Now I want you to bring that front leg in first and bring the one that we didn't have in front. Make some adjustments. Good. Whatever you need to. So when you have props, you're constantly making adjustments. It's okay. Find the calm and the chaos. Look at my feet now. Pull the toes towards the shins. Point the toes to the side walls. Good. Here's 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Come to the space between. Get ready. Breathe. Nice. Now from here, bring your arms out to the side. Look up. Reach up. Backs of your hands touch. Push the walls aside. Good. Come into an A position. Touch the mat. Reach out and up. Back of your hands touch. Look up with your eyes. Good. And push. Touch. Wrist to hips. Now keep the chest up. Collarbones long. Push the hands into the mat. Nice. Now lift the heels of the hands. Reach out. Pause. Good. Shoulders, elbows, wrists, thumbs in that order. So start to pull up from the pelvic floor into the navel as you let your shoulders internally rotate. Now go into the elbows. Now go into the wrists. Now go into the thumbs. So good. Now external rotation. Shoulders, elbows, wrists, and thumbs. Look up with your eyes. Bring your palms to touch. Bring your hands to your heart center. Good. Interlace your fingers. Activate. Zip up. Lean back. And we're going to go through that hip series, right? So make adjustments. Here we go. Pull it in, pull it in. Push it out, push it out. Remember, you want to keep your toes pulling to your shins pretty much through this entire flow. Stay with it. Come on. Go at your pace. Never faster than me, but you can always go slower than me. Yep. Let's do 4. Nice. 3. Remember, that opposite leg that we started on is what is coming in front. 2. Ooh, do the best you can. And 1, hold. Adjust the blocks, adjust your cloth. Find your position. We're almost there. Good. Now start to sit tall. Find that position. Nice. Now, from the inner thighs up into the navel, I want you to hug your knees into one another and then touch your elbows. And then come back to center and hug. Let's go. Touch the center. These are like seated crunches. Just another way to do a crunch. I showed you a standing crunch in last week's video, and now we're working on this seated crunch. So the inner thighs engage, suck in your belly, suck in your chest, suck in your knees, push your shin into your calf into your shin, elbows into knees, knees into elbows, pull your chest back, spread your shoulder blades. Let's flow 8 times. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, hold 1. So good, and let's switch what leg's in front. Make the switch. Whoo, yes. Adjust. Good. Get ready. Find that position of your feet. Breathe, and let's do it again. So come up into that crunch, and then release, and come up into that crunch, and release. Let's do it. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Come back up and hold. Squeeze. And then release into that seated position. You're going to flex. Good. And point. Flex and point. Flex and point. This block's falling out, so make some adjustments. You always can make adjustments. You should always be making adjustments. 4, 3, 2, 1. Find the space between. So good. Now, come into that crunch. Grab your blocks. Take your legs out in front of you. Spill your pelvis forward. Good. Pull your toes to your shins. Your butt is still on your mat. Start to bring your blocks and slide them forward with your hands. Keep looking at the screen right about here. Internally rotate your shoulders. Push down into the block. Now suck in your lower belly. Suck in your chest. Squeeze your collarbones together. Drop your eyes in between your shins. And then reach your blocks forward a little bit more. Getting deeper into the stretch. Now you start to suck in your belly. You start to let the blocks begin to slide back. Suck in your belly even more. Suck in your chest. Now right here, lift the center of your chest, lengthen your collarbones, find your eyes. You can bend your elbows here. Woo! So it's a flow, it's a forward bend flow. So I'm feeling this, my hamstrings on the back of my hamstrings on the floor. You may be too, I hope you are, but if you're not, if it's too much, you can always keep your knees bent, just like this. Just kind of pull the heels back towards your butt, and you can do the same thing we just did, okay? So here we go. Let's try it again. Pull your toes towards your shins. Activate your inner thighs. Get ready. Push the blocks forward. Suck your belly in. Internally rotate the shoulders. Suck in your chest. Look between your shins. Reach as far as you can go, and then slowly come back. Externally rotate the shoulders, bend your elbows, sit up, lengthen your chest, lengthen your collarbones, and let's flow. Here we go. 8, 7, 6, 5. Put internal and external rotation into it. Yes. 3, 2, and hold 1. Reach 1 more inch and slowly roll back. So good. All right, start to bend your knees right here. Put this leg in front. Adjust. Find your blocks. Put them underneath your thigh. Find your comfortable seated position, a supported seated position. Make adjustments. Get ready. Activate your feet. Nice. Breathe. Grab onto your knees. Perfect. From here, we're going to go external the back shoulder, internal the front shoulder, and we're going to go through that flow again. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Center, bend your elbows, pull your chest forward, pull your toes in, push your heels out to the side, get deep into those inner thighs. Elbows bent, you're still pulling on your knees. Now what I want you to do is suck up from the pelvic floor into the navel, into the chest. Internally rotate the shoulders as you lean back and stretch the back. Now externally rotate the shoulders, come back into that forward bend, the seated forward bend, really feeling it into the inner thighs. Ready? Let's do 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Find the space between. So good. Go ahead and straighten out your legs once again. Move the blocks. We're going to do that seated forward bend flow one more time before we say ooh. Bend your knees. Let's get into this together. Slide your sit bones forward. Nice. Now from here, push the feet forward. Spill the pelvis towards the thighs. Sit bones hanging on the edge of your mat. Right here, you should already be deeper into your forward bend without even moving into forward bend. You're just deeper. The hips are back, the chest is forward. It's that hip hinge movement in this seated position. Keep pushing your heels forward. Keep drawing up through the thighs. Nice. Now grab your blocks and we're going to flow. Here we go. Internal rotation, forward bend. External rotation, lift. Let's go. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Push down to the blocks. Bend your knees, slide it in. So good. Now here's our challenge. I don't really care what leg is in front right now. We can get deeper into that when we get deeper into the series. Use your blocks. Try to lift your butt off the mat. Lower your knees. Walk the blocks forward. Okay? Now you're in a chaotic environment. Your knees are on hardwood floor. How can you take some of that pressure off? Push into the hands. Now take your inner thighs and hug them into one another to move the heels out. Take those washcloths away. Don't slip on them. Good. Now from here, tuck your toes under. Lift your knees. Leave the blocks behind. Suck in to roll up. Center of your chest lifts, collarbones long. Yes. Let's end in an wu-wei flow. Reach out and up. Tops of your hands touch. Now push the walls aside. So good. Let's do a scapular rotation. Nice. Come to a standing position. Now reach forward and up and go into releve. Use your big toes. Lift your chest. Lengthen your collarbones. We end in wu-wei. I say it, you say it. Wu-wei. Nice work. So, what we did today was really just movement meditation to find that movement and then the flow, the movement and the flow. And I hope you really enjoyed it. Next week we'll get deeper into the stillness, the meditation part where you actually sit, but there's never stillness. You still just breathe it in. There's always movement. Today you just are practicing the meditation in the movement. I hope you enjoyed it. See you next week.